Morning all, Paul here, Bearded Badger Publishing and Books in beautiful Belper in the heart of Derbyshire. Welcome to the Friday feature. If you're not familiar with the Friday feature, one can only imagine you've been heralding the return of Nadine Dorries to Twitter and catching up on the nonsense. Stop it! Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? It's just me talking about books, so we'll do just that, shall we? So I'm a bit excited today, which I'm a bit of an excitable character anyway when it comes to books. But anyway, super excited today because yesterday we had these beautiful things drop. The Art of Escapology by the wonderful Nicola Ashbrook. It's our next book. It's out next Thursday. If you've pre-ordered a copy, they'll be going in the post very shortly, along with, I don't know whether you'll see these. One of these, we're going to put some little badges in there, little bearded badger badges. They're made out of wood, so they're quite cool, aren't they? So look out for that in the envelope, because sometimes you just get the book out and chuck the envelope. So what is the Art of Escapology? Well, I've told you about this before, but I'm going to tell you again. It's a series of flash fiction, so I think the longest story in there is about 700-800 words, and they're all themed around the art of escapology, hence the title. So escapism, escaping to or from something, and they're a great collection of stories, and it's a real skill, I think, to get a story across in a short space of time. So in a short word count. So yeah, and look at that for a cover. That cover. Now the thing about this cover, I need to talk to you about the cover because each one of these little artifacts that you can see inside the this box of curiosities links to the stories. And you know, I've talked about Matt Oakley of Mojo Creative before in the old Friday features, but we need to talk about Matt. We need to talk about the skill that he's got. So this idea was Nicola's idea, this curiosity box thing, and we sent a couple of photos. We did a bit of to and fro, and honestly, what he's come up with is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So if you're looking to get some books designed, cover designed, honestly, give Matt a shout. Mojo Creative, the man's a genius. And if you need further proof, I'll give it you. So this is like the generation game conveyor belt. Matt Oakley design. Another Matt Oakley design. You don't stop there, folks. Seriously, let's go. No cuddly toys here, just Matt Oakley designs. Wow. All of these are done by Matt. And what's interesting, they're done from the most crap briefs you've ever seen that I write. And it's how he takes it and then turns it into a thing of beauty is, well, it's beyond me, but he does manage to do it, and I'm eternally grateful. So big shout out to Matt. As I say, if you're looking to get a book cover designed, you could do far worse than that. Lovely fella, Black Country. We actually went to school together, and many moons ago. So that's out. Bearded Badger Publishing .com. Have a look, you'll see it's the first thing that comes up, but it's on the shop for books thing. It's £8 and it's lovely. What we've done different actually, this is why I'll talk about this as well. We put it on a lighter paper than we normally would, and there's a reason for that as well. It's poetry, I think, works better on a lighter paper. It's still a good quality paper, it's not cheap stuff. Whereas I think novels, where the text is a lot denser, seem to work better on the sort of cream papers, like the woven cream papers. But we opted to put this one on a white paper because I think the white space around the stories is quite important, and yeah, it works really, really well. Well, I think it does anyway. It works really, really nicely. So yeah, please, if you've got a spare £8, I would love for you to order a copy of that, so that we can continue to support good writers, we can continue to support cover designers, and that sort of thing. So yeah, the Art of Escapology. 4.5 minutes in, and I've only talked about my own stuff. But I'm going to carry on talking about my own stuff. So last week we did a pop-up bookshop. As you all know, we used to have a shop, a physical shop, and that closed earlier in the year. And I'm not going to lie, I found it really tough to get my head around what I was going to do, where to go. And I went back into the aero industry, which is where I spent most of my career prior to prior to returning to study to do publishing. But so I've gone back into that, and I don't know. It hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. If I'm being brutally honest, I had this sort of dream. I realised it, and then it was no longer there. So it sounds a bit deep, and apologies for that. But I sort of dusted myself down a bit. We've got some books coming out. We've got some more coming out before the end of the year, which I'll touch on again in a bit. And then I got chatting to a friend of mine, Jay Dean, who runs Dubbreck Studios in Derby, and we did a pop up there before COVID struck. And this is my luck. We did one pop up, really good. Had a guy called Dan Webb, a local poet, come down, did a little turn for us. It was brilliant night, lovely social evening, blah 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 blah. Thought great. Set a few more up. COVID came. It's been the story of the last few years for us, really. But it ain't knocked us out yet, has it? So anyway, they've moved places since then from Beckett Street to Bridge Street in Derby, bigger premises, still the recording rehearsal studios, but they've got this lovely downstairs space that's a cafe / bar, live venue. It's really, really nice, really spacious. There's a gallery space where they have local artists work. It's in the university kind of quarter of the city. So yeah, we popped up there last Saturday, and it was so nice seeing so many old faces that used to come to the shop, and a few new ones as well. Some students, some new young people linked to Derby Book Festival. So yeah, it was a big success, and we had a really good time. So we're doing them every other Saturday between now and the end of the year. So the next one will be a week tomorrow, which I think is the 22nd. So yeah, if you're in and around Derby, it's a bit later. It's going to be 11 till 4 next week, rather than 10 till 3. So yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning. Come and grab a coffee, get a beer in the afternoon, browse some books. One of the comments we had was, that I love the curated sort of feel to what you do, and people likened it to a record shop they'd been to where, they hadn't got enough money to buy what they wanted because there was that many good things. So that was a real nice compliment. And and we do try to do that. We do have some books from the mainstream there, but predominantly it's books from the small presses, the independent presses, and they're putting the good stuff out, so why not? So yeah, if you're at a loose end next Saturday, come and say hello to us. So what else can we have a little waffle on about? I'll tell you what we'll have a waffle on about. A friend of mine, who I've never met actually, but it's a Twitter friend, Peter Bennett, had a copy of his new book come through, Liberties, which is published by Rymore. Sounds absolutely fantastic, set in Glasgow. A lot of Scottish brogue in there, if the cover's to be believed. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting stuck into that. And Pete's been a massive champion of Bearded Badger, right since when we published Drew Gummerson's 7 Nights at the Flamingo Hotel. So it's nice actually to be able to do the same thing back. So if you're looking for a gritty read, get on this one, Liberties, Peter Bennett, Rymore Press, rymore.co.uk. It's $10.99. Yeah, it looks great. Nice book, professional. That'll look good on anybody's bookshelf, won't it? That's fine. So yeah, get on that one. I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm currently reading Spaceships Over Glasgow, so sticking with the Glasgow theme, by Stuart Braithwaite, the singer songwriter behind Mogwai. Really enjoying that. Learning about how Mogwai came to be. So yeah, I'm about halfway through that now, I think. And then after that, I think I'm probably gonna read the new David Keenan book. I'm gonna get into that one. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else I can have a waffle about today. So as I say, if you've pre-ordered a copy of The Art of Escapology, keep an eye on your letterbox next week. I know the posters have got a few strikes coming up, but that's all good. They need proper pay. They need to be looked after, So you'll have no complaints from me on that score. And as I say, when you get your envelope, make sure you have a look in it, and there's a little Bearded Badger badge there, which means you're part of the Bearded Badger Club, I'm afraid, which means you have to buy all of our books as we carry on. Sorry. So yeah, please go buy a copy of that, beardedbadgerpublishing.com. If you want to buy a copy of anything else we've ever published, that would be great too. We got some really nice stuff out there. So, as I say, big shout out to the main man, Matt Oakley, Mojo Creative. You'll see if you go on our Twitter or something, you'll find Matt somewhere on there. He got his own Twitter, obviously, but or social media generally. But yeah, great cover designer, great fella. And that's about it, I think. I'm going to talk next week about the next two books we've got coming up. We've got the Cremation Project, Andrea Mason, which is a masterpiece, which comes out end of November, and then we've got Drew Gummerson, Cooper's Tube, which is again another masterpiece from Drew. Dead funny, loads of characters, loads of weird and wonderful characters, very Drew in the way that it's written. So yeah, loads of good stuff coming up. If you're around next Saturday, come and see us, but I'll talk to you about that next Friday anyway. And yeah, have a nice weekend. It's feeling a bit more autumnal, I think now. I can smell it in the air. And I went to B&M the other day, and the Christmas aisle's there already. What's all that about? What is that all about? Anyway, have a nice weekend, people. I'm going to stop waffling for a bit now, and catch you soon. Take care.